Good morning, everyone, and welcome. It is very nice to see you all this morning. Welcome to our spiritual home, the Unitarian Universalist Church of Tarpon Springs. My name is Laura Rodriguez, a member of this congregation, and I am serving as your worship associate today. For those who may find the visual description helpful, I am a middle-aged Latina woman with shoulder-length brown hair. Today I am wearing a bright pink dress with playful prints of big cats and flowers, something that brings me a little joy here at the church today. And that's because I am entering this space with a whole lot on my mind. Earlier this week, I shared an image on social media. I think our team has it. There you go. And that image deeply resonated with me. And when our minister saw it, because she's my friend on social media, she invited me to speak a little bit about it today. The image is simple, maybe even a little humorous when you first look at it. It's a cartoon that shows a little character with various objects stacked upon their head. Things like groceries, laundry, a cat, a laptop, plant, bills, supplies, and right at the end, a globe on fire. Underneath each frame are the words, "I've got a lot on my mind right now." And so that struck me because that is exactly how I feel most days, if not every day lately. As someone that lives with anxiety, I often feel like my brain is juggling too many tabs all open at the same time, all at once, each one flashing an alert. I worry about my job, which I've shared with you before, and it's federally funded and vulnerable, very vulnerable to cuts. I'll know more this summer. I worry about how to show up for my family when I am drained and don't have any more energy left. I worry about my ever-growing pile of laundry. You can ask Luna, that's very much true. And all the housework that seems to just never end. But most of all, I worry about the world because it does feel like our world is on fire right now. And for my generation, and maybe for yours too, it can feel that as soon as we survive one crisis, another one is already waiting for us at the next corner. We've endured recessions, pandemics, political unrest, racial violence, and attacks on the rights we thought were protected. So, when I got a sneak peek at today's sermon, which is titled "What Joy Asks of Us," I'll admit it gave me pause. I thought to myself, seriously, what could joy possibly ask of us right now when we're just trying to hold it together? But maybe, just maybe, joy isn't something that asks us to ignore the fire. Maybe it's something that asks us to hold on to beauty in the middle of it, to make space for awe and laughter and connection, even when things are hard, especially when things are hard. So today, as we listen to our sermon and our songs, I invite you, as I try to invite myself, to be present, to breathe, to find stillness just for a moment, and to ask ourselves not just what joy demands, but what it offers too. So welcome. Before we continue, we want to acknowledge that here at the church, we are standing on the lands of the Tocobaga and Seminole peoples. And we offer a warm welcome to anybody who's a guest and is joining us today. We would like to get to know you better and hope that you will join us following the service for our coffee hour and refreshments. And if you are visiting, if you are new, or you feel like you are still new, you can grab one of these cups, bright red coffee cups in the social hall during coffee hour, and one of us will come and talk to you and make you feel a little less strange. All right, so continuing, our mission states that we are a liberal faith community for all ages, promoting spiritual growth, social justice, and the arts. Today, our minister, Patti, as I mentioned before, will be leading our service titled "What Joy Asks of Us." Our music today is provided by our beloved music director, Bunny Whitehurst, and our beautiful choir. And again, a warm welcome to our Sunday service. Our opening music is number 361 in the gray hymnal, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. Please rise or sit as you feel the most comfortable.
Rejoice and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice and come in.
James and John, hi. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Oh, you sweet angel babies. Oh, I love this group. Oh. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Patti Hanks. I'm the minister here. I'm in my first year of ministry in what I hope will be a really, really long Act 3. I'm a white woman with shoulder-length brown-gray hair and brown glasses. My pronouns are she and her. I'm wearing an orange shirt and a long jean jacket and a bright gold stole that has a rainbow and a chalice printed on it, symbolizing our UU commitment to side with love. And I want to tell you, fellow protesters, I know a lot of you were out there yesterday, so I was down in St. Pete on a corner with my granddaughter and her friend Ella, and I was wearing this gold stole that my family gave to me as my ordination gift. And I had a big sign that said, "The church has left the building." I loved it. We stood out there in the street corner, and people would come up to me and say, "The Jesus that I believe in is not having any of this." And I was like, amen. It was like, I felt like the corner was my corner, and I had so much fun with you guys. The church has left the building. We used to go out when I was in seminary. We would go out as a group, and we would close down the classes, and we would all wear "The church has left the building" and go out and do projects, like all of us. It was such a beautiful seminary experience. Anyway, and we would chant, "Tell me what democracy looks like."
This is what democracy looks like.
Thank you, right on, Starfire. So I add my welcome to Jean and Laura's and affirm that all of who you are is sacred. And all of who you are is welcome here at Unitarian Universalist Church of Tarpon Springs. As UUs, we side with love. We stand with already marginalized and threatened people and groups who are even more vulnerable and more at risk in these unraveling days. In our opening song this morning, we sang together, "With open ears and open hearts, enter, rejoice, and come in." That's why I'm here. to serve with you in building an open-hearted and an open-minded community to share freely our joys and our sorrows. So as we begin our time together, I invite you to join me in sharing a particular joy and sorrow. One of the signs of springtime in Florida congregations is saying goodbye to our seasonal members and friends who begin to head northward. I've noticed that most of what is written about snowbirds is told from the perspective of why Florida is a good place for them, right? It's true that it's a lovely spot for those who crave sunshine and want to leave behind heavy coats and shoveling snow. When Mike and I left Michigan, our friends gave us a framed piece that says, "They drove south until they could take off their coats, and we never saw them again." Amen. I think more should be said about the joy our seasonal northern friends bring to us. We know in our Tarpon Springs congregation that these delightful people start showing up in late fall. They share their energy and their ideas, their unique light and warmth and support. They beautify our grounds. They form dinner circles by red cups. They help with Sunday services. They bring art and bouquets of flowers. Yes. As a new minister who arrived here about the same time they did this year, I only know this place with them. I know I speak for all of us year-rounders when I wish our seasonal folks safe and happy travels as you return to your loved places and your loved people, and we will look forward to your return. And so we have a little sending off gift for you. It is my version, and a lot of it are things that I've collected. It's my version of a Florida James Luther Adams 5 smooth stones that Connie talked about last week. This that represent hope, courage, justice, love, and joy. They're 5 smooth Florida stones and smooth driftwood and sea glass. And it comes with and there's a little candle in it to light your way. Please take one as you leave today. They're right up there. Point them out. There he goes. We're going to miss you so much. We're going to miss you and come back.
Welcome back now.
And now we're going to light our shared chalice candle. If I don't drop it.
Our chalice lighting words this morning are from Gretchen Haley, the senior minister for Foothills Unitarian Church in Fort Collins, Colorado. And it says, "Come in, all who long to know how to love this world, how to keep eyes open, hands unclenched, arms wide, breathing deeply in and out. This is a time to practice because there is still so much good and beauty and joy, but it can be hard to keep telling this tale with all the news and the wind and the rain and the trembling earth. Come in, all who teeter on this edge of cynicism, broken-hearted and trying still to remember laughter and kindness, and the chance to be alive in these days when so much is at stake, in this place where we remind each other why we persist, giving each other courage to take this path that is not always easy, to keep practicing this love that cannot, will not let us go, and still calls us on. Let us light our chalice together and let us worship together. Unitarian Universalism is a covenantal faith. We will now read together our congregation's covenant. Let's do it together. We strive to look for and encourage the best in each other as we move toward justice, peace, and love for both ourselves and the world. And when we fall short, we will seek understanding, reconciliation, and a return to covenant. Each week we sing Spirit of Life together, which is hymn number 123 in the gray hymnal. Sit or stand as you prefer. And thank you to our friend Diana Reif for sharing the hand signs this morning. You're welcome to try it out with her.
Patti, turn on the mic.
So I want to introduce you to Luna, who has read a story for us. This might be your third time. Yes! So she has our story today, and there'll be pictures up here on the screen too. Just make sure you tell me.
The Little Book of Joy, with Douglas Abrams and Rachel Newman, illustrated by Rafael Lopez. One of us grew up in a little house. One of us grew up in a big house. Our houses were on opposite sides of the world. Often we were sad and lonely. Both of us wished for a friend. Sometimes the other kids wouldn't let us play, or they were very far away. We wondered if we would always be sad and lonely. But when we sat still and breathed in the quiet, we noticed something beautiful. If you focus on the thing that is making you sad, then the sadness is all you see. But if you look around, you will see that joy is everywhere. Joy is the warm, tingly feeling of the sun tickling your toes in the morning. It's the giggly, squiggly feeling when you are doing something silly. And it's the soft, snuggly feeling of being all wrapped up cozy in your bed at night. Even when you're caught in the rain and your joy is washed away, it's waiting at the bottom of the puddle. Even if you slam the door and your joy can't get in, it's just on the other side, waiting in a loving hug. Even if there is a loud noise in the night and your joy gets scared away, it comes streaming right back with the light of the silvery moon. Joy is the bubbly, bouncy feeling of finding a good friend. And once you let joy in, Like magic, your heart always has room for more. We discovered that the more joy we shared, the more joy we had. And the more joy we had, the more joy we could share. So look for the joy all around you and share it. Write it in a letter, play it on a drum, sing it to the sky. It will travel up in the air, across the ocean. Someone will find it and share it. As it spreads from person to person, the world will fill with joy. The end.
Yes. So, Luna, this book is for you.
All right, 4 times a year we have a special purpose collection selected by the Rainbow Welcome Circle, who coordinate our social justice initiatives. Starting today and all throughout the month of April, money designated for our special collection will be donated to support our congregation's Pride Month activities in the month of June. Along with 3 other UU congregations, we raise money to march and tow a float in the St. Pete Pride's Parade and to support our Pride Day family booth, other LGBTQIA+ events, and of course, candy and beads for the parade. You can make checks out to UUCTS with the memo Pride. Special purpose collection envelopes are in the pews for those who want to donate in cash, and for those like me, you can also donate online at uutarpon.org. During the collection, we do invite you to remain seated and join Bonnie and the choir in singing hymn 100 in the great hymnal, I've Got Peace Like a River. Enjoy.
We will be singing verses 1, 2, 3, and 6. Verse 6 is below the actual music.
I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like
moment for reflection. Maybe you come to this space with peace like a river, love like an ocean, joy like a fountain, maybe pain like an arrow. I invite us to center ourselves into the words of Saint Teresa of Avila, a 16th century Spanish mystic. This magnificent refuge is inside you. Enter. Shatter the darkness that shrouds the doorway. Be bold. Be humble. Put away the incense and forget the incantations they taught you. Ask no permission from the authorities. Slip away. Close your eyes and follow your breath to the still place that leads to the invisible path that leads you home. What joy asks of us. Every thought about this Sunday service has been centered around our story for all ages that Luna read to us. Every single thought I've had. The Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu's collaboration, that book, The Little Book of Joy. Usually as I prepare for Sundays, I have stacks of books and papers piled up all around me while I write and think. By Saturday, it always looks like a library has deconstructed on my desk. This week, I kept opening up this one book, letting the collective wisdom wash over me. Archbishop Desmond Tutu, who lived to be 90, worked a lifetime as an anti-apartheid and human rights activist. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1984. His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama, the spiritual leader of Tibetan Buddhism, is 89, and since 1959 has lived in exile in India. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1989. And here's a commercial for next week. Buddhism is the topic for our service, which will be led by Mark Hopkins and Steve Bolton. I think the day before you leave, right? Leave town. He's like, preach it, leave. So I'm with you, Laura. When I saw joy as one of the suggested themes for the spring month of April in our Soul Matters curriculum, I could feel my soul hit the brake. In this unraveling time of loss of rights and human dignity, of fear and worry, of taking to the streets, as we did yesterday, how do we talk of joy? So I'm taking courage, and y'all, I'm going boldly because the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu have got my back. After long lifetimes of wisdom and suffering, they agreed on this statement for their book jacket. If you focus on the thing that is making you sad, then sadness is all you see. But if you look around, you will see that there is joy everywhere. They also wrote a letter to the people of the world in a prologue to their book, and it begins, "Dear friend, we wish we could meet you all." And somehow I think it's true that they wish they could. We wrote this book to help you remember that even when you're having a hard time, joy is never far away. If we want joy, what does it ask of us? In my no less than 50 readings of this little book, a few themes started to stand out. So first of all, they remind us that joy and sorrow live in tandem. And joy requires focus. They mean tandem in that joy and sorrow are yoked together in the experience of living. Joy and sorrow are quite literally pedaling together. It makes me think of William Blake's words, "Joy and woe are woven fine, a clothing for the soul divine. Under every grief and pine runs a joy with silken twine." So our teachers, and I've decided to refer to them as our teachers because they have big long names and I can't be like, "And so Desmond said." So I'm going to refer to them as our teachers. They acknowledge the presence of sadness and woe, and their book illustrations show images of isolation, of poverty, and injustice, and still they ask us to look around and find ways to focus on joy. The tradition of sharing joys and sorrows is one of the first things that I loved about being in a UU congregation. I remember during my first year as a Unitarian Universalist, and I've told a few of this, I was in a grocery store on the day of my dad's funeral with overwhelming sadness. And in front of me in the line, and I was probably buying Kleenex or cough drops or something, and in front of me in line, there was a young family that was obviously headed to a birthday party. And they had a giant cake, and they had a bunch of balloons, and the little kids were squealing and jumping all around. And I thought, my turn for sadness, their turn for joy. I like what Reverend Dr. Rebecca Parker wrote in her book, Proverbs of Ashes, about focus. I think our teachers would like it too. Rebecca is an ordained Methodist minister in fellowship with UU, and she was the past president of Star King Seminary, and she's one of my wisdom elders. She describes a time when she was in the deepest despair, and in the midst of that, she found herself in a situation where she was invited to look through a telescope that was focused on Jupiter. Reflecting on that moment, she wrote, these are such beautiful words of wisdom. It would be wrong to think of this moment as one in which joy triumphed over despair. Such a view assumes that bad feelings need to be excised or suppressed by stronger, better feelings. Sometimes we imagine that peace and joy is accomplished by cutting something out. Not so. I did not defeat negative feelings of anguish and despair because I saw something more lovely and good. Rather, I became able to feel more. My feeling broadened. My pain, sadness, and despair were not eliminated and overcome. I embraced them with a larger heart. My consciousness had been broadened to embrace the beauty and power of faraway Jupiter, giving me in that moment a vivid sense of future possibility. I love that. So our teachers say joy requires focus, and they remind us that joy asks us to feel. In the little book of joy, our teachers suggest noticing times of warm, tickly, giggly, squiggly, soft, snuggly, silly. Being around young children helps, right? Which is why I'm living here and not moving, because my daughter has a 17-month-old, thank you. She's like, month. That's funny. So my 17-month-old grandson, Jackson, he does this peekaboo thing, and he hides behind something, and then he looks to see if you got the joke. And then if you say, "Did you do peekaboo? Did you go hiding?" He smiles and giggles, and he goes, "Yeah." It's such joy. This week, I thought about a silly time of joy that I had, and I found myself laughing out loud about it. So I want to tell you, when I was at the congregation where I did my internship, we had a huge walk-in craft closet. It was piled so high and deep with things that no one could find anything. So I was in this group working on it, and as things go, sometimes when you have lots of people and you have a bunch of tasks, it started getting a little tense, and we were getting tired, and we were deciding about what goes where and what should go there, and people had different opinions. And at some point, when it really felt like the project was probably going to stall out, I found a stack of these. And I said, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe we have kitchen stuff in here." Oh, some of you know, okay. And they looked at it and me, and someone said, "Kitchen?" And I said, "Yes, I think they're for deviled eggs." But the holes aren't even big enough for like small eggs. I'm thinking, are these for like robin eggs? Like what is going on? And they all started laughing, and someone said, "Or they're little paint palettes for the kids to do crafts." There's like a huge stack of them. There was something about that laughing together. We decided, first of all, that I would definitely not be in charge of the craft closet. And we finished the job. So our teachers said, laugh, be silly, have all the feels. And the last theme of their book, joy asks us to put it out there and share it. Our teachers wrote, "We discovered that the more joy we shared, the more joy we had. And the more joy we had, the more joy we could share." Little loop. They suggest writing letters of joy. They suggest playing on a drum, singing it to the sky, or in the sanctuary on a Sunday morning. Thank you, Bonnie and choir. Sharing it in travel, putting it up and out in all directions, believing someone who needs it will find it. And we all need it. We're hardwired for connection. I recently read a book by Matthew Lieberman, who's a professor at UCLA's Institute for Neuroscience, and he wrote, "Being socially connected is our brain's lifelong passion. It's baked into our operating system for tens of millions of years. It's essential to our survival. So I love this example that I ran across a few days ago in this site that I follow called Global Positive News. So this was the picture that I saw on Facebook. So I'll tell you. So the child wrote in this note, and he taped it to his neighbor's front door, and it said, "I tried to knock on your door a few times, smiley face. Could you please put this back in my mailbox? Thanks so much." And then the note continues down here. "Dear neighbor, my name is Emma, and I live across the street at 1659. Would it be okay if I shot hoops in your basketball hoop after school some days?" And then it has, yes. No, I love this. Camille could have written this. And then it has comments. The neighbors have clearly checked yes. And in the comments wrote, "Absolutely, have fun." I like to think of them kind of maybe playing basketball together, right? That maybe became. I feel thankful for the teachers, like His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Archbishop Desmond Tutu, who remind us joy lives in tandem with sorrow and asks us to focus. Joy asks us to feel, all the feels. Joy asks us to make it grow by sharing it with each other. Thanks be for joy. So one of our beloved seasonal friends, Karen Strobing, who, along with her husband Bill, have graced our church with art and flowers and love. She has offered some images of joyful light as we sing our closing hymn together. It starts with one light, and then see what she does with it.
And that is, if you would like to look at the music, it is 118 in the gray hymnal, 118. Everywhere I go.
Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Building up a world. This little light of mine.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Having a little rally of our own? Nice. So our closing words are from the Dalai Lama. Rejoice in each other. We must develop the sense of we. Once we're able to develop that sense of common humanity and the oneness of humanity, then naturally we want all others to be free from suffering and to enjoy happiness and joy. As for suffering, I do not wish even the slightest. As for happiness, I am never satisfied. In this, there is no difference between others and me. Bless us so that I may take joy in others' happiness. Dalai Lama.
Jeremiah was a prophet. He told people of God's plan.
He promised
Hope in the future with a goal to prosper for every woman and man. For every woman and man. Singing joy to the world. All the boys and girls now. Joy to the fishes and the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me. If I were the president, I'd tell you what I'd do. I'd work for peace all around the world. Equality and justice too. Equality and justice too. Singing joy to the world. All the boys and girls now. Joy to the fishes and the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me. You know we love the ladies and all the gentlemen. And we love all the rainbow people. We support them as much as we can. We support them as much as we can. Singing joy to the world. All the boys and girls now. Joy to the fishes and the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me. Joy to the world. All the boys and girls. Joy to the world. Joy to you and me. Joy to the world. All the boys and girls now. Joy to the fishes and the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me. Joy to the fishes and the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me.
I want to drop this thing today. If it wants to keep going, we can. There we go.
I love that her light doesn't want to go off.
We're having too much fun. All right, we hope you found meaning in today's service. I sure did. I needed those words, especially for the week ahead. And we wanted to share these words to close our service today. Joy doesn't simply arise. It flies, it flings, it is flung, it is passed, it is spread between you and me, between the one who just received a gift and the one that has been looking for it. And I should have done this after, but now we extinguish the flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth and joy of community, or the fire of courage. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world. Thank you so much. Nice seeing you all today.